So this is a stupid question, but I thought we had all purple lightsabers. Why do we have red and blue now?
Did you miss the part
we
where
swapped
I
it out for
changed
the
them?
fancy crystals at the beginning of this week.
The entire...
okay.
Yeah, that's what we were doing there. So now we have to kill all these guys. Oh, shit.
I sure you don't want to reload?
Stupid the dark... Because then we have to go to the... Yeah, it is just objectively easier to do the light side option. You just have to kill...
I mean, you do have to fight the other chieftain guy. So either way, you're murdering a lot of these people before the day's over.
But isn't this the bigger fight? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I've never done this actually because it's stupid.
It is so stupid. There's just no reason for it.
Apparently they have prisoners. I don't know, dude.
I work for the one.
Yes, I work for the one.
I work for either Jet Li or Keanu Reeves. Oh my god. Oh, killing dudes.
I find it interesting that no one is commenting on this. Like, none of the characters are like, this is, you're being an asshole, Revan.
Especially since you brought the two good aligned characters with you. Like, Mission and... What did you say that started this?
I think I said, like, fuck it. Like literally, the character said, like, something along the lines of, like, you know what, screw this, I'm just gonna kill everyone. Because that's an option in this game, because this game is dumb. And expects you to be an idiot.
Well, they weren't far off the money.
Now you will see that good always wins because evil is dumb.
I like how it looks when you reflect blaster bolts while turning on your lightsaber. Sorry, go ahead.
Chris, say something about this part of the game. Anything.
We look like we're very America with our blue and red lightsabers. I'm sorry. You guys have gone on at length about I'm kind of at a loss. You guys have gone on at length about the nature of the ending of the game and whether this is more difficult or easy than the light side ending. Having never played this game, I have very little to go on other than watching Josh effectively rave dance to kill people. So
that's fair. That's fair. I do not criticize you at all. This is a hard game for us to cover. It's just there's so much game here, and there's a lot of this particular turn-based combat. And well, I mean, I think
if we had been treating the overall story more seriously as we were going, maybe I would have more context. But I just know that there's a big decision, and we chose bad guy. There was a decision between bad guy and good guy.
I accidentally pressed the enter key while I was hovering over. And it was like,
there are two factions here, and each of them wants you to... The bad guys want you to wipe out the good guys, and the good guys just want you to rescue their friends from the bad guys.
Which, incidentally, does end up causing you to wipe out the bad guys, but...
Yes. Wait, I thought you could, like, sneak or, like, sneakily free them?
I don't know. Does anybody use sneak in this fucking game?
It wasn't sneak, it was like repair or something like that.
Or cotton computer.
Well, on the plus side, this ancient civilization that managed to survive this long, that's fucking gone.
Yeah. Who's been like
diplomatic
installing
negotiations
service...
have broken down. Oh, hi, Karth in the background.
Who's been installing service packs and replacing, you know, blown fuses on this thing?
It's an ancient computer. These things last
20,000 years.
Can you imagine trying to, like, boot up a big iron today? Like, 50 years later?
Yeah, and that'd be in English, using controls made for human beings. How more incomprehensible would it be at an alien computer when you don't know its language and it's 20,000 years old?
I do not ask that Star Wars obey these considerations, but it is kind of amusing.
No. To Star Wars, if you're gonna do this kind of stuff, Star Wars is definitely the universe that will allow you to do it. But it's still funny, and I'm still gonna point it out that this is silly.
All right.
Sometimes I do wonder when I criticize like the parts of this game that are dumb and broad, how much smarter you could make it while making it still feel like a Star Wars game, and still feel like, you know, accessible, morally gratifying pulp.
Yeah, because often to fix stuff you have to create I mean, this is the extended universe in a nutshell. It's like, well, we'll create a rule that explains this, and then you get bogged down and the things get really technical about what can and can't be done and how all the technology works, and that's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to keep all the rules very light and vague, and everything as much as possible driven by emotion and fate and destiny and, you know, the characters themselves, and not driven by technology.
But even broad considerations like being a Darksider, you think about, like, I would argue that if you're to have a true Star Wars game, you can't play a Sith, really. Because okay, well, let me get into that a little bit more. For a true Star Wars game, you can't play Sith and have it be interesting or intellectually satisfying. Because the moment being a Sith makes sense, you're leaving the clarity of Star Wars. You're moving into gray areas that the franchise isn't really designed for.
Yeah.
So what I'm really hearing is that Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racing is the best Star Wars game.
Yes!
I think you could make a Sith game that is a power fantasy. In fact, you could say Force Unleashed, kind of.
Yeah,
if that
I was
game
going to
wasn't
talk about
so
that. But that
boring.
game also does you end up going light side in the end.
Yeah. But just embracing God of War style. No, you are a rampaging asshole and you're reveling in your power. That would be being a Sith, I think. That would work.
So at the same time, so I would even say that like the dumb asshole options in this game are probably about appropriate for playing a Sith, and I think that's part of the reasons they were so well received. They just feel so weird presented next to the light side options, as though it's completely indifferent which one you pick.
As much as I'm sick of games about games, I like the idea of a game where you are a Sith who does nothing but gain power, and then it does a Spec Ops and subverts that, where you're gaining power and becoming more and more strong, but more and more evil, and the game basically turns you into a monster, and you keep doing more and more horrific things, despite being more awesome in a traditional video game sense.
I think that could work. You know, like, I mean, God of War did a lot of that. You were playing an asshole. You weren't supposed to like Kratos. You weren't supposed to say,
Yeah, but Kratos fell into, like, that Tony Montana category of, like, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's cool, and people love him.
Alright.
No, I don't know if that's alright. I think that's a serious flaw in the character.
I like Karth there facing the wrong way. That just is with him wearing that headset. That makes total sense. Yeah, he just has no idea. He's sitting there talking. He's just standing there talking in empty space. And then he walks across the room and runs into a pillar.
So is this the end of the game? Because, like, I thought we were going to finish this week, and
we've got a ways to go.
We're about to get to the Star Forge.
We're trying to get to the Star Forge. That's where Darth Malak is hiding out. He's turned to Bastille of the dark side. And there's shields. This is lifted from Endor, right? There's a shield around the Star Forge that we can't get through, so we had to come here to this planet to turn off the shield so that we can get into the Star Forge. But we've got some
so I
dicking
guess I have to
around
go to the temple alone. Did I have to do that in the other? Like, if we did the other one? I don't know.
I don't know.
Powerful Persuade up. And Death Field as one of the powers. And we got one more power. Let's get Force Suppression so we can fight Malak. Is that level 20? Are we level 20 now?
Oh wow. You are
No,
a
we're
very
level
high
19.
level. You're a very high level Jedi. There's a fun argument
Can I return back to
arguing
that?
about
Of
what
course not.
level everybody was in Lord of the Rings or the Star Wars movies. There's an argument
No,
that can
no,
just
no.
keep you happy
I mean,
for
like,
days.
you can't even
Seamus.
fit any of the wizards in properly. It doesn't make
That was me.
sense.
That was me trolling, by the way, Chris.
No, I was just gonna say, you don't know fighting about comparative power levels until you've gotten deep into Dragon Ball Z fandom and have actually had numeric reference points at different parts of the franchise for figuring out exactly what power level each character should be, and exactly whether it's logarithmic or whether it's exponential. There are, like, theses on this sort of thing. It is really bad. Now Josh is mumbling.
And the thing is, you have to gather your party so that you can go into the temple alone.
I mean, I could just... Like, I can't get out the fucking door without gathering my party is the problem.
I know, but where you're going, you don't need your friends anyway.
Where you go, they can't follow. What you got to do, they can't be any part of.
So,
I'm sorry, I wrote the
but-
great movie Ride Loaf like 4 times, and I just can't help but quote
So
him
when
constantly.
when your friends ditch you, it's because you've got too much dark side juice, right? It's not because of an individual story decision that you made, right?
No, it's because you decide to help Bastila.
Yeah, right. If you make one decision here coming up, you can actually go from almost like halfway light side to halfway dark side, or vice versa.
No, you can go from 100% light to like 50% dark, basically.
Sorry, that's actually what I meant to say. That's correct.
So that's... And that makes everybody else's turn feel kind of odd. Like, Karth has been okay with all this bullshit that you killed all those people and he didn't have shit to say about it. But this will be... And you've killed a lot of other people that maybe didn't need to die.
It's also, keep in mind, remember back in the early days of the series? Now realize that we're a lightsider, wearing lightsider robes and a lightsider headset.
Yeah. Yeah. You could
We went
probably...
from a remorseless shithead to a paragon of virtue, and we could just as easily go back.
The Force has given us a vision.
So I told you they'd show up.
In the temple. We cannot let you face it alone.
You might be walking into a trap. Maybe Malak himself is waiting inside. Even if he isn't.
Yeah, that would be much too convenient for us if Malak himself were waiting inside and we could have the final battle in like 10 minutes.
I don't know what he said, but it sounds like
Stab
your
him,
man's being stubborn.
stab him,
We don't
stab
have time
him.
For this. The Republic fleet is on the way, and we're stuck on this planet until we deactivate that disruptor field. You have to convince him to get us inside that temple.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I accidentally unplugged my headset and, like, confused vent, and I had to disconnect, and that was stupid. Anyway, what I was saying earlier is you could go all the way dark side, all the way light side, and all the way to dark side again, or vice versa. I'll bet you could make that entire trip 3 times in the course of the game, if you planned it right.
Honestly, I would even just suggest we we join Bastila right now. Except, I want
super
Juhani, and I want Jolie with you for the next part,
Yeah.
because Destroy Droid is going to be
Yeah.
necessary to get out of this sane and healthy.
Lord Malak, The preparations are nearly complete.
Oh, yeah,
Is this
this
the Star
scene.
Destroyer yet?
Forge adds more ships to our fleet.
Yes,
We're
but
on the
this is the
Starforge.
scene.
Well, I mean, this
where
is a
the-
cutscene on the
The
Starforge.
fleet is assembling
This is
around
the scene where the guy comes in and
Starforge,
sees
waiting
Darth
for
Vader
Yeah,
in
hey.
the life pod getting his stuff adjusted.
Oh, hey, Mumbles isn't here.
horrified.
Oh my God! What's wrong with your face?
You know, you sound a lot more like the Rick Evans Plinkett right now.
I was
than you
actually
do the
weirdly kind of going for that.
Plaza.
Yes.
That. Oh my God!
How does he eat?
As you wish, Lord Malak.
Where's the food go?
So
There
they
should
have
be a
this
hole
futuristic
there.
technology called enemas.
Oh, I didn't want to hear that.
So, first you ask where does the food come from. Now you ask where does the food go.
Just get it over with.
Just do it.
Fucking
Get
do
what
it.
over with?
I don't even care.
Just do your Cotton Eye Joe
Goddamn
joke. I
Cotton
see
Eye
it coming.
Joe fucking.
Whoa, Cotton Eye
fun.
Joe. Hey, whoa. Where did that come from? Where are you
Shut
going
up,
with
you
this?
little bastard.
Where did that come from? Where are you going with this?
The bad thing is, if I were to strike you down, you would become more powerful than I could possibly imagine.
Yep.
And that's not fair.
Alright, fuck this.
You know, you
Puzzle.
guys supposed to put chops about all the Cotton Eye Joe jokes I made in the Hitman season, but if it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, that season would have gotten old a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of did anyway.
I will be your doom!
How does this guy feel? Does this guy have any report on how Lord Malak feels?
I think we're past that.
That is most disappointing.
Loot stuff.
I actually
There's some loot
kind of
crate.
liked this part because these guys were so fucking lame that this felt like a victory lap and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but then you get to the Starforge and it's like, hey, don't you like droids?
How
Also,
would
I
you
guess we
like-
could have just swam out here and climbed up to the tower.
Yeah.
Oh.
How would you like 10 victory laps? Because that's what you get when you get to the Starforge.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
like, no.
you're going around here, and they don't get any speeches. You know, they don't get any taunts. It's just like, oh shit.
None of these guys are like, hey, Revan, you're back. You know, Malak is kind of a dick and we'd rather serve you. No, nothing. Like, that would be an interesting thing to create a schism, a schism in their ranks.
Yeah, but at this point it might be like weird.
Yeah.
Also,
and it
how
might just drag
terrible a
the story
Sith
down.
do you have to be if the door opens and 3 Jedi run in with lightsabers and you're like an apprentice to try to fight that Jedi, ostensibly to protect your boss? Like, what kind of crappy Sith are you?
I think Jolie just cast Whirlwind on that droid. Now it's outside of its shield.
Oh,
Prototype
that is
droid.
super
Jolie,
Wow.
I need you to destroy all
Took
the
them like
droids.
what, 4,000 years to get that prototype working?
That's got an Ed 209 vibe to its flailing around.
Ed 209 is
Are those
underrated.
lightsaber crystals?
Ed 209 was just a couple of content patches away from greatness.
Can I actually say that scene in RoboCop is amazing? Like the first scene with Ed 209 where he kills that guy.
Oh man, that stuck with me for a while.
Well, not only is it brutal, but the great thing about it is that, like, you immediately find out who each of these executives are and what their roles within the society, and it does a great world-building thing in that the spectrum is not, oh my god, you killed somebody, that's horrible, to, Who cares? He knew the risks. The Spectrum is like the most like virtuous guy in the room is frustrated that an employee just got gunned down by a prototype. He's exasperated. Everyone else is torn between being shocked and trying to figure out how to use it for their career and trying how not to lose their career over this.
Oh,
Puzzles!
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
It says you have to
isn't
walk
this
over
one of the
it in the
puzzles
pattern
where
of an H?
your allies will follow you if you don't tell them to stay put and screw up the puzzle in your wake?
There we go.
I seem to remember that being a problem.
Josh?
Huh?
Did you do that on purpose, Josh?
Did I
puzzle?
successfully complete it? Well, yes. I mean, that was the idea.
Well, I know it's the idea, but like... Alright. Say so. I can't actually
I
prove
am
you
tired
wrong.
of this game.
Did he do it more quickly or far less quickly than you anticipated?
Far more quickly.
Well, I read the data pad that said you should walk over it in the pattern of an H, and then I did that unsuccessfully once, and I did it successfully the other time.
Okay, never mind. All is right with the world. You screwed up at least once, even though you had the puzzle solution all spelled out for you. This is consistent with my expectations.
Well, it doesn't help that my big problem was your character handles like a forklift. Or no,
Yes,
like
that is
like a
very
golf
true.
cart. And so you're like, I just want to go to this one, but no, what are you doing? You turned all the way around. You stepped on that one again, you asshole.
I feel like actually Assassin's Creed was one of the first games to do this properly, where you can like be running one direction and you want to turn. So rather than like turning in a wide circle, your character just kind of pivots and slides a little bit and then starts running in the opposite direction.
Yeah. You know what? Prince of Persia: Sands of Time did it as well, but you know it's not.
Okay, so it's that DNA of games that did it
Yeah,
properly.
but I mean, and I'll bet it's the same team. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always jarring to go from a third-person game where you move exactly in the direction you're facing to a third-person game where you have, like, your character has to run a little bit to, like, orient themselves in the direction they're about to move.
Right, and that's fine normally, but when you have this puzzle where if you put your foot in the wrong place, it screws up the puzzle for you, then that's bad.
I also remember a lot of falling off of ledges in Saints Row 2.
So we've got some cool backstory here for the Rakatans, which is mostly stuff that I've already said.
The Starforge is a tool of the dark side.
According to this computer, it's civil war. Others were like, maybe it was a plague.
I'll be going
So we
now.
haven't killed all the elders, so now nobody will benefit from this great historical archive we have here. Or, you know, maybe that's a good thing, depending on how you...
So only once have I
Look
seen
at the way this
ending
game
of
has been going.
Only once have I seen the evil ending of this game, and it's actually kind of cursory and disappointing.
I played
like,
through it multiple times, but I don't remember exactly the events.
You
especially
basically
the one.
you basically take over from Malak rather than your own. You don't like recreate the empire that Revan created. You just kind of like seem to just be like, oh, I'm evil and I got Corbin, and now the Sith are gonna rule the galaxy.
Yeah. The last scene is you standing on a podium with a bunch of Sith troopers while Bastila plays your hype man.
Yeah.
Just the way
You know what? I don't remember that. I think I killed... Can you kill Bastila when you do the evil
I
ending, or
have
do
no
you just
idea.
No. No, what happens is you join up with Bastila, and then you get the option to either, well, you kill Jolie and Juhani, and Karth runs away, and you have the option to kill Mission. Canderous follows you, and HK follows you, and Zalbar will follow you if you persuade him.
Can you kill Mission and persuade him?
Yes.
That's
you can persuade him to
fucked up
kill
one.
Mission for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's like the most legit evil thing
And then
you can do
you-
in this game, in my
And then you go to
opinion.
the Starforge and you have Bastila with you, but you lose the other Jedi characters and the other cool characters.
Malak tortured me, so now I'm gonna fight you to the death, even though I'm outnumbered.
Malak thought you might be afraid to enter the temple again, but he doesn't know you like I do. Not anymore. Not since you've changed.
Quickly, Bastila, come with us. We have to escape before Malak arrives.
At least your lightsaber color is the correct one now.
I've sworn allegiance to Lord Malak and the Sith. I am no longer
I've
a
sworn
pawn of
allegiance
Jedi
to the guy
Council.
who tortured me for all those days.
No, Bastila, don't go over the dark side. No, let's
Can't
see
you
what
tell
use
from the
make
fact that
fun
I'm
of
wearing
Jedi
dark
Council.
robes and using a red lightsaber? You were before you quit.
Look at
Oh,
what
yeah.
they did to you. They turned
No, Bastila, don't stay over on the dark side where you've been ever since I met you.
They speak of the dark side as if it is something to be feared, but in reality they're only ghosts
Oh,
who manipulate
just
those
shut
who are
up and
strong
fight
in
me,
force.
lady.
The fear of the dark side is a tool to maintain control. Why do you think the Jedi forbid you?
The
and
sequel
Malak
has a
from
much
ruling
more
over the
interesting
universe?
negative take on the
You
Jedi
would realize
Council.
your true potential and break free from
Yeah,
the
that's
Malak is
that's like the
stronger.
classically
He's had the
Obsidian
means of the same
pissing
motivation
off
as you.
everybody except the people who really like it now that they're
all.
doing this approach to factions.
People who it never the black and white thing about the Force never sat well. I like it. It's broad fantasy. Sure, the good guys are all good and the bad guys are all bad, but I'm okay with those kind of stories. You know, I wouldn't want all stories to be like that, but sometimes you want the good guys are good, bad guys
So
are
I couldn't
bad.
remember if it was actually just, oh, by the way, she was tortured into becoming evil. But yeah, it is.
Then he
Okay.
made me see how the Jedi Council
Well,
has denied me what is mine by right.
I guess
The
that's your
Jedi
character
Council
then.
gladly used my battle meditation in their wars, but they still treated me like a child. Like a
Yeah,
inferior.
that's
They were
disappointing.
jealous
This is a little
of what
better.
I could become. They
where
wanted
she's
me
just
to bow and
immature.
call them master and follow their code and obey their every order.
It's just
All the
torture,
while, they
Bastila.
were
Like, get
exploiting my
over
battle
it.
meditation for their own use.
You're torturing me right now by talking about it. You don't see me turn to the dark side.
Except
Did
for
you just murder
except for 10
two
minutes,
civilizations?
except for 10 minutes ago when I couldn't be arsed to like walk across a beach to kill a different group of guys.
Until Malak freed me from their shackles. I pity the
They're all
power of
fish
the
heads. It
Sith.
doesn't matter.
You could have been as strong as I am now.
Look, are we gonna fight or what?
But that will never happen now. With the power
I
of
did
the
ask her to
Starforge,
bow down
Malak will
before me as
destroy the
I'm
Republic and
Revan,
conquer the galaxy.
but that didn't work.
I will be the apprentice at his side.
So you've turned to the dark side, but you haven't actually, because otherwise you'd side with me since I'm clearly the bigger badass.
Well,
so you've turned to
Bastila,
the
have you
dumb
learned to
barks.
use Force Wave over and over? Because if not, then this is going to be a short fight.
You keep getting dark side points, even though...
Apparently, it doesn't like me saying bow down before my power, Bastila. Oh. Apparently, she's as much of a chicken shit as Malak is.
You were stronger than I would have thought possible after what the Jedi Council did to you. Seems that Malak was wrong. The power of the dark side is not lost to you after all, Revan.
Or maybe the dark side is complete bullshit because I just used light side powers. Do you understand how this game works, Bastila? Do I need to
Have you
explain the
ever-
mechanics?
Universal powers.
Have
The-
you ever
the
opened
Force
up
Wave
your
is a
own
universal
character
power.
sheet?
You died in the trap set by the Jedi Council. I used the Force to preserve your life, Revan.
Bastila, are you
Forever
holding
linked
that
by my
lightsaber a
actions
little
and
far
knowledge.
back? Isn't your hand getting kind of warm?
These are not your true feelings, Revan. You're speaking as a tool of the Jedi Council, as I once did. But now I see how the Jedi used
No,
us
I
both.
just think
The
you're
Council
really,
tried to
really
exploit the
being
bond between us.
stupid.
They hoped I would draw out your memories to lead them to the Starforge. We were slaves to their will, like all who followed the Jedi.
You were slaves to the Jedi Council's will. They asked you to do something, requested it, paired together individuals who would serve well. And now I am free, serving under Malak, who kidnapped and tortured me until I agreed to be his pawn.
till I agreed to be free and to do everything he tells me to do.
You deserve to be the true master of the Sith, not Malak. I see this now. Together we can destroy your old apprentice. Join
The
us.
Jedi
now you're
brainwashed
talking.
you. Can't you see that the way of the Sith is clearly superior? I see.
Your mind was too badly damaged to ever fully restore your memories, Revan. But your power, your strength of will, the essence of who and what you are, these things still remain. Once, long ago, you defied the Jedi Council, freeing
This
yourself.
lady's a
What's
really
bad?
shitty salesman
You
for the
claimed
dark
your
side.
rightful title of
She
Jedi.
is
Yeah.
the worst.
Together we can defeat Malak and
And the
It was
brother-
like they had this idea of this character that would be your companion character that would fall to evil and you'd want to save her, but they didn't know how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
See, this is the
it-
problem with... This is the problem with rendering Star Wars in D20 mechanics, and especially not taking over the most important parts, is that, you know,
You are beneath me.
she's arguing that if you turn to the dark side, you'll be that much more powerful. That's objectively wrong. If you turn to the dark side when you're a light sider, then you become weaker because your powers get weaker.
You can use it to destroy Malak. With my help, you could rule over the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
Not that we don't have an overload of dark side powers in our repertoire.
Well, yes, but yeah, what I'm saying here is that there's actually no mechanical advantage to being in the dark side of the Force.
Now,
Yeah. Plus you lose that sweet, sweet destroy droid power that you just could never do without ever.
No one can stand against the power of the Star
Because
Force.
droids, am I right?
The light
Stop
side of
being
the
a
Force will
chicken
always
shit.
triumph over the
Come
dark
back.
side, because the light side has destructive powers that are more convenient in certain circumstances.
What does this ship look like? This ship looks like something. And I can't think of what it is.
Kind of looks like a 1,000-year-old bird of some kind.
I was thinking it looked... Shut your mouth! I was thinking it looked like a door knocker.
Yep, let me just rummage through these ancient boxes. Nope, nothing I want.
But I'm taking it all with me anyway, even though there are no shops
I return
between
to
here and the
no,
end
of
of the
course I can't
game.
return to the Ebon Hawk.
This medkit's, let's see, it expired. I don't even recognize this date. Fuck it, it's probably fine.
The expire date is given in a different calendar.
I mean, it's 20,000 years. You're probably talking about multiple different calendars that nobody remembers anymore.